Good morning. Pop my tea down. Pinch punch, first day of the month. Welcome to this first Facebook Live in February. And if you are here with me live, do pop on and say hello. Do share this out with friends and family. Let's have even more people in to join the fun. So thank you for joining me on this Monday morning. And my name is Helen Jennings. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. And we're here to have some crafty fun on this first Monday morning in February. So just some news coming up. As always, I will aim to get my newsletter out today, so if you've not already subscribed to my newsletter, do make sure that you've subscribed to that and that you've made sure that it shows up in your inbox and doesn't get lost in the junk. So that should be going out later today, all being well. I am running a little bit behind on lots of things. Obviously, you know, our ordering, for those of you that don't know, if you're here in the UK, our ordering is a little bit difficult at the moment, not because of any hiccups as far as Stampin' Up are concerned. I put my order in and they send it out and UPS collect it, but then it gets stuck at the border as we are getting used to new custom regulations and customs checks, and people are sort of refining their systems and all those sorts of things. We are having quite a few issues with getting orders through customs, so which means that, you know, I'm not getting them here on my desk and I'm not able to get them out to people in forms of classes and things, but we are working very hard on bringing that round, and I aim to have a real think about how I'm going to promote classes for February in the best way possible to manage everybody's expectations, including my own. So I should be thinking about that today as well. Morning Jackie and morning Div. I do want to give a shout out. I will be pushing later today for an event that's coming up on the 13th of January. And no, 13th of February. We'd have to wait for next year for the 13th of January. This is the 13th of February. And I'm quite excited about this. I am joining together with demonstrators literally from around the world, some from the States, some from Canada, some from Australia, and little old me here in, well, I'm the only one in Europe actually, but certainly the only one in the UK, are all taking part in an event on the 13th of January, and it is going to be a free event. But if you want to join in, and you're all invited from wherever you are in the world to join in, you will need to join the special Facebook group, and I will be posting details of that on my page and on my group and in my newsletter later today. So come on in, there's no cost to you. Come and join this Facebook group, and the times are going to be a little bit funky for us here in the UK. It is from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, you're not expected to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning unless you particularly want to, but within those hours, all of those demonstrators from Canada, Australia, US and me are going to be coming in at some point and doing some card demos, a bit like I do on my Facebook Lives, only a little bit shorter. We're all going to be doing demoing different products from I think mainly from the January to June catalogue. There might be some bits from the annual catalogue, but we're all going to be demonstrating some cards and showing you some projects and giving you inspiration. And obviously, because this is all going into a Facebook group, that means it's going to be there beyond that out those few hours, and you're going to be able to catch up with them the following day, the following week, go back into them in 3 months' time. So a really lovely event that's going on, as I say, on the 13th of February. So look out for details of that, and wherever you are in the world, click to join there. And if you haven't come across anybody else near to you that is a part of that group, just put me down. You'll be asked who your demonstrator is, and if you don't know anybody else that's actually running in that event, then I'm happy for you to put me down wherever you are in the world, and I'm sure you'll be very welcome. Okay, so that's that plug. What are we going to play with today? So good morning, lots of faces up there now, so good morning. I get a little row of faces in the top corner of my phone, so it's lovely to see you all. I thought today we'd play with some paper. We don't very often have designer series paper as our focus on these Facebook Lives, but I thought we would today because we've, in the last few Mondays, we've been looking at some of the sale-a-bration products. So I thought we would look at one of the packs of paper this morning. So let's move me out of the way. That's me. You can find me at www.love-a-duckie.co.uk. And I have picked this paper here. Now, there's a few packs of paper in the sale-a-bration catalogue. You've got the paper blooms, which is stunning. And you've got the Oso Ombre designer series paper, incredibly useful, really pretty. And then you've got this flower and field designer series paper, and that's the one that we're going to be playing with today. Now, growing up as a family, we had a narrow boat on the canal here in the UK, and this paper really reminds me of canal art. It's a real trip down memory lane. It's beautiful, the sort of things you get painted on jugs and buckets and mugs and all of those sorts of things. If you go visiting the canal, it is such pretty paper. So what I have done, I have taken one sheet of each of these papers and I've loved it and I've chopped it. Now, if you have never loved and chopped paper before, it really is useful. The thing about paper is we get these lovely big 12 by 12 sheets and they look fabulous, and if you're a bit like me and love the smell of new paper, they smell fabulous, but it can be a bit daunting to use it because it's big and it's whole. So the idea of Love It, Chop It is that you take your paper and you literally chop it up. Now I'm going to chop it up, and it will probably depend where you are in the world as to how you chop it up. I've chopped this into 10 centimetre strips, of which you get 3, because these 12-inch papers work out at about 30.5 centimetres. So if I cut a third 10 centimetre strip, I will actually get a little slither just there. I will add to the rest of my slithers. Now you see, like the back side of that slither is this stripy paper, so you can imagine, not necessarily on that paper, but on another project, having a sort of stripy slither. So don't need to throw those away, they could come in useful as well. And then I'm going to cut them this way at 14.4 because that gives me a sort of first size mat on a card, if you like. A 10 centimetre by 14.4 centimetre piece of card is what we would use as our first size mat. And then I get another chunk just there, and again a nice stripy bit just there that would be fabulous. A little flash of flowers you could use as an insert or as a border on your card front. So let's move my trimmer out of the way for a moment, because now what I have is I have all of these. So I have just used one of each pattern paper to create these, and so now I have got lots and lots of these. Let's see if we can find you one of each. I think those ones we've had. Have we had a stripy one? Yes. So that was obviously, that was 3 sheets of paper. And we've got these ones. Which was the 2 sheets of paper I did earlier, and then we've got the one that we've just done, which is that pattern just there. So, because I've done half a pack, I've got 36 card fronts. If I'd have done a whole pack, I'd have had 72, plus all of these little bits here. And what happens psychologically, and it does work, it sounds really silly, is now you've just got card fronts. And so now rather than a big piece of paper, you're going, oh, I really like that bit of paper. What shall I do with that? And there's no reason why you can't, you know, use a couple together if you want to, or cut these down, or cut them in half and do all sorts of pretty things with. But just by cutting that paper down, suddenly it makes it more accessible. And that is known as loving it and chopping it. We love our paper, we cut it up and we use it. And that whole philosophy comes from a demonstrator in Australia, Carly Bertucci. She was the person that started to really promote this idea of loving it and chopping it. She does it with all of her papers. I don't do it with all of mine because sometimes I do scrapbook or use them for bags or those sorts of things. But occasionally I will chop one up like this. So let's make some cards. Now, in order to go with these cards, I've also pulled some of the stamp sets. Morning, Beryl. Do not mix much. All we've done is chopped up. So this is the Flower and Fields Designer Series paper, the Celebration pack, and we've just chopped one sheet of each up into card size fronts. We've loved it and chopped it. Now we're going to see what we're going to play with. So I've grabbed some of the stamp sets. These are all Celebration from the Celebration catalogue, with greetings on. So we've got your heal your heart one there, really lovely, wishing I could heal your heart, thank you, sorry for your loss, we're in this together. So real sort of I'm here for you type cards, supportive cards, approaching perfection. This has got some quirky little things in. If things really do get better with age, then you're approaching perfection. News flash for birthdays found to be good for health. Studies show that people who have more birthdays live the longest. You know, really silly. And the bad news is I forgot your birthday. The good news is I forgot your age. So yeah, really sort of quirky little statements. And then this one, the Punch Party, this is the Celebration host set. So this is the set that you can get if you host an event, and your event, now that's very bad of me, I should have looked that up. Your event generates sales that are £275 or more, then you get this stamp set for free. Or if you place an order personally of £275 or more, you would get this for free. It's quite cute, isn't it? Oh baby, you are already loved more than you know, sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. You make my heart happy. Heartfelt thanks, I'm sorry. There's a happy birthday up there. So yeah, really cute. And they go with punches. So this goes with the rectangular postage stamp. This goes with the new oval punch. This one I don't think quite fits the hearts, but I'm sure that it will you'd be able to play with it with hearts somewhere. Okay, so we've got some greetings, we've got some paper. What should we create? Now, I grabbed these two just now. I do like that combination. It is actually both sides of the same piece of paper. So we might make a few cards today, because the other thing about these is obviously they're quick and easy. Really lovely idea if you want to do something like create a little box of thank you cards or something, because you can very quickly make up a set of those. I'm going to take a bit of black card actually, so I've got some old olive just there. I'm going to trim this card down, but that's fine, we can trim it down, the paper down further if you want to. So I'm going to cut this piece of card so it's 14 centimeters by 10. I'm going to take this one, so it's 13.9 by 9.5. So I've just taken those slithers off the side. It's up to you whether you keep those or decide that that probably is just a step too far. But you could keep all of those little bits and build them up into a project of their own, like a scrappy strips technique. Another of Kylie's inventions. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut it so it's 5.5, and then again by 13.9. So you can see how very quickly we are creating quite a pretty little card. I'm going to pop that onto some old olive, an old olive card base. Let me just score that. So if you're in the States, probably you'd want to cut these at 6x4 or something, or 5 what would it be? 5.25 by 4, don't know, something like that. Anyway, whatever would work best for your yeah, 4 by 5.25 would give you a first size for a card base. You'd be able to get 6 of those easily with a chunk left over from your 12 by 12 papers. So there we go. We've got the startings of a card. What shall we have as our greeting? I'm going to go in with this punch party one. I think we'll take a bit of bumblebee card. Find some bumblebee card. And lay that down there. I think we'll take a memento ink. I'm just going to go black with this one. And we'll stamp that, so that's given us our outline. Let me find the punch that I need. Got things collapsing all around me as I lean over. So this is the rectangular postage stamp punch. We're going to pop that in there and punch that out. Then we'll have let's have some heartfelt thanks in there. Why not? A heartfelt thanks for everything. Just having a think what I could put on there in terms of ribbon. I think I need to do a bit of a have a bit of spotted tulle coming across there, I think. A lovely little delicate ribbon, that one. Let's stick these layers together. Morning, Sarah. Or actually, the trouble is, for once I wasn't late. I actually went to put my phone on and it was 8:59. And I thought, oh, I'm early. Hang on a minute. So let's put our yellow spotty paper there. Oh, what happened to that? Stay. And then we'll come in with our floral strip. Let's take our bit of ribbon. So you could very quickly make up a whole little stack of these cards. Create a little box or something for them to go into. And we've got a nice little gift set for somebody of notelets. You could even, now here's an idea for you, make up a whole little stash of cards. Take your many messages stamp set and just die cut a whole, this is the many messages that you then run through with the one die, and you can cut out a whole load of little sentiments, so that you could put just a stack of cards and a stack of sentiments in a little box, and then they've got cards for whatever occasion that they need them for. You just need to, you could put a few little dimensionals in with it perhaps, so that they could use them to stick their sentiments on with, and away they go. Great little gift for somebody that you don't know what to get them. Right, I think on that one I'm going to, somewhere in my little stash of embellishments, I've got some of the resin hearts. I think I'm going to take a little resin heart and add that to that, because it's a heartfelt thanks. So let's add a little heart. So a really pretty little card. Oh, sorry, just bash you about. Let's have a look and let's pick something else. Oh, decisions, decisions. I love this one with the daisies on. And this one here, you could just take that one. You could do some fussy cutting with that one, so we'll perhaps do something with that one in a minute. And perhaps that background. But this jolly little card just here, I'm going to take a bit of So Saffron. Let's see if I've got a... paper is just so pretty, Sheila, and they work up so quickly. And actually it's quite fun, because you sit here with all these strips in front of you And you could grab out a few colours of card and things that you know that's going to go with them. And it can be a bit like, oh, what am I going to do with that one? I've just cut that down. What did I do with that? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. We're on to Monday morning, aren't we? Shall we try that once more with feeling? I need to cut this to 10 centimetres by 14.4. And again, I'm going to cut this one down to 9.5. 13.9. I'm going to grab the Daisy Lane stamp set. Now, these daisies here are white with a little bit of blue in the middle there and yellow centres. So I'm going to take some white card and that stamp. And take some Seaside Spray. No, it wants to be Balmy Blue. I'll take some Balmy Blue. Now, I don't know. This is an experiment. Let's have a look how much blue that gives it. 2 blue. So we won't do that as blue. Or we might, but we might stamp it off. Let's have a look. Let's have a play. Because I'm going to have a look. Take the daisy punch. And punch that out. And to punch one in white. And punch another one in white. And we're going to go a different way. We're going to take a different tack. We're going to use a sponge dauber and bring a bit of blue here. And just adding in a little touch of blue in there. And then I need to spend some time going through my sponge daubers and making sure they're all away in the right space. Let's grab a So Saffron and another sponge dauber. Let's add in the yellow centre. So I'm just fiddling about looking for this one card. Not sure whether any of those papers will quite achieve what I want. This one might, possibly. No, I think it's a bit dark. Perhaps we'll come in. Yes, with that. Okay. And then we'll have a little flick through our greetings. I think actually I might come in with one from the Daisy Lane, and we'll have a bit of a smile on there. Smile. So let's stick this together. It's gorgeous paper, isn't it? Seems a shame to be hiding that. And I'm going to come across with this strip, which I know is a little bit wider than I need, but we'll lay it down where we want it. And then, oh no, it is just right. Like that. Let's pop a bit of glue on here. And hold that in place. Can't see my bone folder, but I've got a little bone folder here. Let's just give these petals a bit of a curl. And then I think let's take some white twine and do a big bow. And then we'll put our daisy in place and add a dimensional to the back of that. And we'll trim that ribbon off. That twine. And let's find, let's create a basic white card base for that one, I think. I've got supplies building up next to me like mad. So we'll take that and we will screw it all the way down at 10.5 and cut just shy of 14.9. Tuck that one at the back there, and then we'll add this one on here. So 2 cards. Now, I'm loving this card. I'm just looking. I don't want to be using my ribbon scissors. My other scissors seem to have gone walkabout. Oh well, let's go with big scissors. I'm going to do some fussy cutting on this one. So you can take each sheet of paper and think, right, okay, what could I do with this sheet? And it's really nice if you sort of, I know I've spoken to a lot of people that say they've lost a bit of their mojo. This is quite a good thing because you've got your colours, so you've got your pattern papers. You could either use them as they are, or like we're here, start sort of cutting bits out of them. You've got a colour scheme, so you know that helps. And it really is, okay, what could I start to add to this? And then you start thinking about your other stamp sets and the embellishments you've got and what ribbon you've got. And it gives you a really solid base from which to start to build up your cards. So if you are a bit lost, grab one of your packs of paper and do a bit of loving and chopping. And celebration ones are great for this because there's a bit of a sense of you've had them as a free gift. You bought your supplies, these were your free gift. I'm just cutting around some of these flowers, deciding which ones I'm going to go for and which ones I'm leaving behind. I'm leaving a bit of a border around all of it, so I don't have to worry too much about sort of intricate little bits that you can't get to, because or little leaves that might fall off. I might cut a little bit more out from around there. Right, so there we are. We have a nice floral element there. It's a rather fun bit to add to it. What we might do is take just going to take some vellum just to give a bit of a break between the paper on the back and the flowers on the front. I'll just run that through my machine. Got an itchy nose. So that just sort of, that's it with the vellum, and that's it without. That vellum sort of just gives a bit of a break between the paper in the background. I think for this one I'm just going to have a black card base. I suppose I don't take any notice of it. I've been doing it for so long. I think I've said quite recently that when I first started card making, a lot of what I did was decoupage, and decoupage that we had to fussy cut. None of this, you know, done for you, pop it out stuff. So I have my little scissors. I've still got them somewhere. I should have grabbed those out actually. I don't think about those, but then they're like tweezers, but they're not. I'm not sure where they are, and they mean you can get into really little spaces, and it's just about moving your paper and not moving your paper rather than your scissors. I'm going to pop that on there. It won't matter which way I put it because it's a circle, so I can move it around to my heart's content when we decide where we want it to go. I'm just going to have a look. So you've got a lot of colours in here. Bumblebee, Cherry Cobbler, Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple Green, Just Jade, Misty Moonlight, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie, Shaded Spruce, So Saffron. Loads of colours. Is that a bit mad? Yes, I think that's a bit mad against that background. That's better. So what I'm going to do is take my, so this is the Stamping Seal Plus, and I'm going to smoosh some ribbon across the back, a bit like that. This one I can use my ribbon scissors for because it's ribbon. Might need to trim that down a little bit. I think I'm using the edges on this bit of this sheet of dimensionals, and I just need to make sure that I put the dimensionals where I can see the patterned paper from the other side, otherwise it will show through the vellum. if we do that, a few little bits around the edge, I might stick a little tiny bit. Ooh. In the middle there, just to hold up that centerpiece. And you can take your scissors and cut those. I just tend to rip them off because, well, let's face it, that's who I am, isn't it? I'll have that coming on here, like that. Let's trim that down. One of the classes I'm going to be putting out for, when I decide quite how I'm going to do it, for next month is actually a card in a card class in a box. So a sale-a-bration in a box. Okay, Lucy, have a good day. And it will be using these papers and some gems and the stamp set, the Happy Thoughts stamp set, which is this one just here. There's some great sentiments on it, so we're going to be using that. We're going to be using a punch. I can't show you that because that's on its way somewhere. So this, a punch, these papers, and some frosted and clear epoxy gems. We're going to be using, might leave those out, might put one of those on there. We're going to be using those, and it'll be 6 cards. You'll get the sort of cardstock and things to create them, but 6 cards in a box. So that's one of the card classes that is coming up. Right, I think for this one we're going to go, let's see, what shall we have? What greeting shall we have? We'll go happy birthday with this one. When I can find it, there it is. Got a nice little happy birthday. Let's find a block. Let's take some Versamark and some white embossing powder. And let's have white embossed on a black piece of card. I've got embossing powder on my finger. That wasn't quite what we wanted to do, was it? Thank goodness for paintbrushes. Happy birthday. And let's heat that up. A really nice pop of white on that black background. That went a bit wonky, but let's cut that bit off first and then we can even that up a little bit. Let's tuck that just under there. And let's open up. So these are clear and epoxy, frosted and clear epoxy droplets. So I don't know whether you can quite catch the difference in those really. That might help a little bit. So you can see those are the frosted ones and those are the clear ones. So these are a little bit more opaque. Do we want to go frosted or clear? Let's go clear. And we'll just add a couple of those in on there. And we're having such fun. Let's go for, I love this one. Such a great paper. Look at the spots on there. Just so much decisions to be made. That's a great paper. Let's do a nice, let's finish off with a really nice quick and easy card with that one. Let's have a bit of shaded spruce. I'm just going to cut down to 14.4 by 10. To take the other half, I'm going to take another black card base because the black seems to really work with these. Obviously I would need to go back in and put some inserts in here, and I might perhaps use a little strip of that paper just across the insert just to match it to the front if I wanted to keep it nice and simple. I'm going to cut this down to 13.9. Then I am going to cut it to 9 centimeters, and then I'm going to cut it into three 3-centimeter strips. Which side did that come? That came that side, didn't it? And then we'll take our 3-centimeter strips. Just to cut that shorter than 13.9. Hi Jane, we're having a play with paper today. That's okay. Looking at that, I made it about 12.9, but that's okay. We won't worry too much. Let's stick these strips in place. Put that centre one in. They're just lovely papers, aren't they? They're really bold colours. But you do need a bit of black for quite a few of them to make them really pop, even if it's just a bit in the background. But for that one we'll have a black card. find a bit of, oh, no, wrong colour. Find a little bit of white colour, that card, that one's got a bit of a grubby bit on it. I'm going to take the thank you. So this is from the Healing Hearts Celebration stamp set. And Shaded Spruce. Crash. That was the ink pads that were on top of the Shaded Spruce, and that are now on the side. Bring that in there. Let us have a bit of a play with this. So this is a stitched rectangle. From the stitched rectangles, funny enough. I'm going to line that up on there. And run that through. I'm going to get that die to sit back in there. Oh, let's bring it this side actually, because it's easier to do it right in front of me. So if you want to do this, you will find that the die will just go back into those stitched grooves. So we can make a shorter stitched rectangle. So that bit will come off, and now we have a beautiful shorter stitched rectangle with a red finger mark on it from somewhere. Never mind. Now I'm going to take the next rectangle up, and that little bit of blue that I grabbed is not going to be big enough. Let's take this bit and we'll run that through. And then decide where we want it. Ooh. Think about there will do nicely. Move that out the way. Right, I'm going to wrap some white twine. So the white twine you can get as a combination with some Blushing Bride twine in the snail mail suite. So we have a couple of combinations of twine at the moment. We have a Night of Navy and a basic grey, which you'll find in the Well Suited suite, and to say this one that's got Whisper White and Blushing Bride, that is in the snail mail suite. And once I have received all my snail, I've got part of the snail mail set. I've got some more to come because it was on back order when the first order came out. As soon as that arrives, we'll perhaps have a bit of a play with the snail mail because that is so cute. Right, so we'll stick that on there. Let's grab those dimensionals, and we've just gone over the hour. So in an hour we've created 4 cards, and with those we've done sort of, you know, cutting up and fussy cutting and punching and all sorts of things. If you were just making cards with sticking on your paper and adding an embellishment, they would go even quicker. I'm going to wiggle that, let's lie that down, wiggle that bow over slightly. That's the nice thing, before you stick it you do have wiggle potential. Get it back. Let's stick this down. And then for this one, I'm going to grab out some black matte dots, I think. And we'll just pop a few on there. So, we loved and chopped half a pack of the Flowers of the Fields paper, and from it we have created 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and there's lots and lots of bits of paper left to continue creating lots more. So I hope you've enjoyed that morning playing with some paper, doing a bit of loving it and chopping it, that you'll have a go. Do send me pictures of what you've created. I'd love to see them. Yeah, we'll catch up with you all again very soon. We'll be back live. In fact, I should be live on Wednesday morning with the first of my Dear Mrs. Duckie lives. So that will probably be much quicker, but we'll come in with a Dear Mrs. Duckie live because I have had 1 or 2 questions about things that people would like me to help them solve. So send in your requests for problems that you'd like me to help you solve. Do look out for the event on February the 13th, and do come back on Friday, and more importantly than any of that, do have a great week. So see you all soon.